Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Crypto Warehouse and a slightly different design today. We are trying to move forward with the channel, add a few things, make it a little bit nicer, make it a little bit more interactive, a little bit more colourful, and just making things a little bit better. If we keep improving by a few little things every day, we will eventually end up being half decent. So what happened? We're going to go through today what happened yesterday, why there was a flash crash, liquidations, all the things you've already heard about. And if you haven't, don't worry, I'm going to tell you what happened. But we are going to focus on the positive today because a shakeout is not going to worry me. What we're going to go through today then is we're going to go through the news about the SEC holding its meetings with NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange to talk about the ETFs, which is probably the number one searched crypto phrase at the minute. Then we're going to look at a $1,000 Solana this year. Is it on the table or is that moon boy numbers? We're going to take a look at that. We are also going to look at Celestia. Celestia was a coin that had a massive run up. I told people to take profits. It's in a range now that you can trade. You can trade from the bottom up and from the top down. We're going to have a look at that. I'm going to go over it. We're going to go over it as well. What altcoins are loved the most by Americans? Is it just ADA or are there others? Also, he never was a crypto hedge fund CEO that never existed. We're going to take a look at that. Then we're going to take a look at AI scams. Yet again, we covered them probably about 2 weeks ago. There are others now. We've had the Brad Garlinghouse scams. We're now going to look at the Anatoly Yavalenko scams. We're going to have a look at that and cover it and basically try and give you some tips to avoid being caught by any of these things. Most important thing you can do right now, however, is smash the like button, smash the follow button, say hello in chat. Good morning to Hidden Agendas. Good morning to Mags or MagSM. Good morning to Kishan. There is a poll running over there. Are we going to see $45,000 today or not? That is the question of the day. Now, let's move on and have a little look at the markets. As you can see, we are down about 5-6% on the day. Volume has spiked dramatically. Bitcoin dominance hasn't really changed, so the market has gone down with Bitcoin. ETH dominance should probably be removed. It's not really important anymore. So what are we? We're sitting just above 43,000, 43.1. We've kind of been in this range of 42.6 to about 43.1 since the flash crash, which we're going to go over. No idea which direction we're going to go through today, so I'm going to take a look at the charts with you and decide what the nearest possible outcome could be. What has gained in the last 24 hours? There are some coins that are up. Celestia is approaching the top of its band. We're going to go over that. Beam is up. Say is on a mad tear already. There's some other tokens which aren't doing too badly, and of course the bloodbath. Coins that have been crushed in the last 24 hours. eGold, Sats, 1000 Sats for OG members, by the way. I have a video on that and my advice on what I would do. Not going to say that here. Theta is down, Terra Classic is down, Mina is down. Mina took an absolute hammering yesterday. Filecoin, Conflux, Thor is down. Brogan will not be happy. Lots of coins, too many to mention, have dropped. So as I said, we're going to go through the positives now, and then when we look at the charts, I'm going to explain what I think is going to play out. Or I'm going to give it my best shot. Let's see where we can get to. And apparently me saying let's go is stealing Hidden Agenda's motto. I do apologize profusely, Hidden Agendas, for stealing your motto. Remember, if you are in chat, try and say hello. I know there's a lot of scam messages in chat. Nada79 is here. Good morning to you. Asif, Pandi, good morning to you. Hello to you as well. Who else is in here? Syed is here. Good morning. And Taleb is here. There's a lot of you in chat. It's difficult to read the chat simply because of the amount of scams. Alias is here. Good morning, Alias. Okay, let's get on with the news. The SEC is holding urgent meetings with NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange to discuss the Bitcoin ETFs. We need to get away from this. When they're approved, I'm going to be so happy to not talk about anything other than the inflows into these ETFs. It's just, we have to cover it. It is the news of the day. It's not something we can avoid, but it's getting a bit boring now. So the SEC is holding meetings today with major exchanges, including the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, and the Chicago Board Options Exchange regarding spot Bitcoin ETFs. The information was revealed by a Fox Business journalist earlier today, bringing some sense of relief for the wider crypto community after crypto services firm Matrixport. Is that going to bring up the article? Okay, that's the other article. We'll go over that in a second. Report that the SEC would likely reject all ETF applications in January. This report triggered a major liquidation in today's market as the crypto market lost more than $540 million, over $500 million gone. Now, Eleanor Terrett, if you don't follow her and you are on Twitter, she is a good egg. She's a good reporter. A lot of what she talks about makes a lot of sense, so I would advise you to go and follow her. Despite Matrixport's report of a possible denial, Bloomberg analysts have claimed that no evidence points towards a rejection. People tagging me like crazy on this rejection report. We have heard nothing to indicate anything but approval, but I want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, so I'm asking if he has any sources or he is just speculating. As we know, this is the kind of the nervousness. So we're seeing skitty, I think is the word for it. We're seeing skitty people in the markets. But not only that, we are seeing people longing the markets. When people expect the price of Bitcoin to go up, they long, and they long big. There was a guy on Twitter yesterday. He longed and was wiped out of his $200,000 position. Completely wiped out. And that's because he'd gone all in on Bitcoin. Now, if you remember what I said yesterday, this is very important. I said there was a 5% chance that something could go wrong. I was 95% certain that we were going to get approved this week. And until that piece of paper is signed, you cannot guarantee it. And because you cannot guarantee it, you shouldn't go all in. And there's always going to be a chance until it's announced that Bitcoin ETFs get delayed for whatever reason. I commented on a post yesterday where I said that the SEC could come up with a reason. Maybe they have too much work after Christmas, whatever it might be. But remember, do as they do, not as they say. They have had multiple meetings with BlackRock and Fidelity. They've had multiple meetings with all the other interested ETF applicants. And now they are meeting with NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. The NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, back in December, maybe even in November for the first one, have added the tickers for these Bitcoin ETFs. So the facts are very simple. They've had meetings. They've agreed on deposits in kind or deposits in cash. They've agreed on withdrawing funds from the ETF has to be in cash, so it's a taxable event. They have sat down with the stock exchanges. The exchanges have listed them as tickers. Nothing indicates a rejection of these ETFs. Nothing indicates that. However, there is still a possibility we could see a delay. If we are delayed, when are we delayed till? We could be delayed till March or April. I still think that is very, very, very doubtful. As of this moment in time, I think by the end of next week, we will have an announcement about these ETFs. Maybe not Friday this week. Maybe it's the 9th. Maybe yesterday, when we were talking about it was being the 15th birthday of the Genesis block, we said it would be great if it happened on the 3rd. But the 9th is the day that the first block was actually processed. So could we be approved on the 9th? That's next Tuesday. Possibly. It has to happen, I believe, by the 10th. And that is 6 days away. Today is Thursday. Next Wednesday is the deadline. So whatever happens, we have 4 or 5 working days left for this to happen. Now, with Bitcoin, we did very briefly discuss yesterday what could happen if it went a bit pear-shaped. And it went a bit pear-shaped. And one thing which, I'm going to move this line out of the way for 1 second to show you. One thing I talk about a lot on here are fib levels. And I'm going to zoom really far in for you to see this. So this green line here is a fib level. Now, we had the cascading liquidations, which brought us way down here to this point. But then what happened? The following hour, we had this wick, which came exactly to the point of the fib level. And since then, we have bounced. Now, the scenarios I can see, if you look over here before, look what happened. We bounced. That's a terrible drawing. Let's try that again. We've bounced, and then we did this. So could we see this again? Could we do this and have this kind of movement? Or what I think is going to happen is I think we are going to be stuck in this range, which has a top of about 44,000. That's the area that was massive resistance for us before. Remember, we've had this massive crash. We were at this price 5 days ago. So let's just bear in mind, this is where we were 5 days ago. It's not the end of the world. The reason that everybody's in a panic is because it was such a shock to move down from 45 all the way down to 41 and change. Was a huge shock, and it flushed all the longs out, killed the longs. The longs have now disappeared, licking their wounds, waiting for the next move up. But we've not suddenly gone bearish because of what's happened. The RSI has come down, so we now have a healthy RSI. We have a nice range with plenty of support here at this level, which is, as I said, it's about 42.2. That's a good level of support. We are going to struggle to break 44,000 without some news. That's why, as I said, I think we're going to have some kind of action like this, unless we get the news. And if we get the news and it's approved and it goes live, I don't know, 9th of February, we're going to do that. We're going to disappear off the upper end of the chart. And I keep saying this level here is my target, which is, I'm going to call it 50,000. I don't really care what the actual price is. It's around this level here. That's where we're going to get to, for me, as the next level of resistance. So what should you do? If you're DCAing in, continue to DCA in. If you're not DCAing in and you've got cash on the side, remember yesterday I said I had cash on the side. I spent that cash yesterday at the bottom of the dip. I bought the dip yesterday. And what I'm going to do with that cash is, as soon as Bitcoin even attempts to get to this level here, I'm going to sell what I bought yesterday and put that back into my cash deposit for any other dip down. The point of buying the dip is that dips tend to be based on either emotion or liquidations. They're not based on actual facts. Nothing has fundamentally changed between today and yesterday. Yesterday, we were here talking about hitting 50,000 today. Or yesterday, should I say. Today, we are here talking about hitting 45,000. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed other than an intern leaked his opinion on the SEC delay until March, April, whatever it might be. That's the only thing that happened. But it spooked the market has reacted. So the fundamentals haven't changed. So when you see a dip, and we're going to look at Celestia and we're going to look at Solana in a minute, when you see this, what the best thing to do, if you've got cash on the side, is buy anywhere you can here. And when it moves back up and you're making a short-term gain, you sell here and you take your 15 or you take your 25%. Whatever you've made, you take it, you put it back into your cash pile, because this is a good opportunity to get into. I missed the IMX, the Immutable X call. I wanted to buy IMX. I'm going to bring that up very quickly to show you what I meant. I said on the stream 2 days ago, I think it was, I want to buy IMX below $2. There is $2. This period here, I was having a shower. Completely missed it. And now we are back at the $2.17 range where we were yesterday. In fact, we were there on the 1st of January as well. So you've got to grab the opportunity. If you don't beat yourself up because you've missed it. But these wicks down, if I'd have had a buy order at $1.90, or if I'd have looked at previous price action and said, right, I'm gonna buy at that level there. I'm gonna put a buy order in at that. That's 186. I could have bought at 186, and now I would be, what's that? 20% up, 18% up, something like that. But I didn't, because I didn't think it was going to happen. And that's when you have these unexpected events, and you have cash on the side. You look for the opportunities to buy. So for me, we've got to get above 44,200. If we don't, we're going to be stuck in a range for a while. But I think any bit of skittish news is going to drive the price down. Any bit of bullish news is going to drive the price up from where we are now. Anyway, that was enough. I could go on a little bit more, but I'm not going to, because I do want to cast my eye on Solana. And Solana for me, again, it was one of those opportunities where you could have got in. You could have got in and got yourself a very cheap Solana. Oh, no. There we go. So, popular analyst put Solana at $1,000 and XRP at $7. Here is the roadmap. So, Ben Armstrong, Crypto Ben, or BitBoy Ben, or whatever his name was, has published a new crypto price prediction for XRP, the native token of the Ripple network, and Solana. He made his predictions live on his channel on December the 31st. He predicts $1,000 for Solana and $7 for XRP this year. This is not the top. This is not their peak, he stated. Notably, the current market value of Solana stands at $108.75. Well, obviously, we're not anywhere near at the minute, and XRP is at 63 cents. I think it's now under 60 cents. This would mean around a 1,000% increase for Solana and 1,100% increase for XRP. So that's what Ben says. Now, I'm not going to knock Ben. I know a lot of people out there don't like him. He's a little bit like Marmite. And Marmite is one of those foods, you either love it or you absolutely detest it. And I know he is a divisive character. So we're not going to spend too long talking about it. We're just going to look at where we are with Solana. So first of all, we have the trend line, our good friend, which provides us support and has done for the last 3 months. Now, we didn't quite come down as far as the trend line. The trend line yesterday was sitting at $82, and I think the bottom we came down to was about $85. But we still had a good pull down. So the first thing we have to do on Solana is we have to get back above $100. We are now stuck below the psychological barrier of $100. Once we take $100, we've got to get back to 108 and then back towards 116. I don't see it happening anytime soon without approval. Now, to get to $1,000, the market cap of Solana has to reach 420 billion. That would put it at half the value of Bitcoin as of today's stream. If the price of Bitcoin doubles because of the ETF, and let's say we're at $80,000, that would put Bitcoin at, for argument's sake, 1.5 trillion. Is Solana going to make up that much ground this year? No, I don't think so. I think we've had the catch-up in Solana. And what I mean by catch-up is, and I've covered this before, I'm not going to go over too much old ground, but if we go back to the same scenario that we had talked about, FTX collapse was there. 1 entire year later, 1 year later, the price was exactly the same as it was pre-drop. So what we've done in the last few months is we've played catch up to these areas here, which is the 100, 115. The peak at this would be $130 roughly. So that's what we've done. We've caught up. But the bigger a market cap a coin gets, the harder it's going to be to push it any higher. So what could we realistically do for Solana in the next year? Realistically, I think if we get towards potentially previous all-time high, puts it at $250, that's a 2.5x from here. I think realistically, retesting the previous all-time high at some point this year is going to be the best we can do for Solana. So I think there, $250, $260 is the best we can do this year. We can't move the market simply because we say it's going to 10x. We can't move the market because we want Pepe to be $1 or SHIB to be $1, because this number here is irrelevant. In the grand scheme of things, that number is irrelevant. It's going to take me to the BNB chart, isn't it? Always does that to me. So the price is secondary. The market cap is the first thing to look at. It is going to take an awful lot of money to move Solana. Now, where is the money going to come into the market this year? Number one, Bitcoin. It's going to absolutely plow into Bitcoin this year. If the ETFs are approved, everything goes to plan, halving, etc. Where is the money then going to go? It's going to go into Ethereum. Could we see Ethereum doubling in price this year? Maybe. Maybe it goes to half a trillion. Bitcoin goes to 1.5 trillion, then maybe Ethereum goes to half a trillion. So that's 200 billion in here, 250 billion in here. That's maybe 700 billion in here. So what could we seriously see going into here? Maybe we see 100 billion. So that would add another 2x to that. That would put it at... Think about when somebody tells you this is going to 10x or 100x or whatever it might be. Look at the market cap. It's absolutely important to look at it. This is why I pick coins, or try and show you coins, if this thing actually worked, which are further down here. So you look at Phantom, possibly a dead chain, 1.2 billion. Axie Infinity is at $1 billion. Beam, 980 million. Now we're getting down to the coins that could potentially 10x this year. Oasis, Is Bonk going to have another mad run up? Remember, Bonk got to 1.6 billion on its first run up. That would 2x it from where we are immediately. Gala, remember, Gala was at, I think, 50 cents. So that could potentially 30x to get back to where it was. So for me, the gems are in the top 100. The top between 50 and 100 is where you're going to see some serious movement this year. But be careful when somebody says Solana is going to go to $1,000. I personally think $500 for Solana is a great price at the end of the bull run. That would give it a $200 billion market cap. Now, that's not being overly bullish. I'm not being moon boy. I think that's a good price for it, $500. If we have an absolutely astronomical blow off top, then yes, we could see $1,000. But for Solana to do 410 billion, this is going to have to potentially 8x. So this is going to have to go to 16,000. This is potentially going to have to sit at about 5 trillion, which is, what's that? 7x, which is 300,000. So in a certain universe, we can see $1,000 Solana. Realistically, I think doubling the previous all-time high is where I would go with Solana. But that doesn't mean you should ignore the Solana ecosystem. You should go and have a look at the coins that are on there. Look at Bonk, look at the meme coins, Gecko, look at all of the coins that are going to be listed on exchanges. That's where you're going to make your money. Now, moving on to Celestia. I'm just going to check and see if I can read any chat, because it is, yeah, let's have a look. I can see user 43's comment. Kishan is in there. Good morning, Kishan. I can see you in there. It's just, for every one real message, there are 30 spam messages. I can't read anybody's comments. It ruins the conversation, because it stops people wanting to talk, because I don't read their comments out. And I don't read the comments out because I can't see them. It's appalling. So good morning, Kishan. I hope the regulars are here. By the way, Rafi is here. Hello, Rafi. We're going to do the chicken quiz again today, Rafi. And after yesterday's escapades, I hope that you behave yourself today. That's all I'll say. One other thing to mention, obviously we've got the nice new graphics, which I haven't finished yet. I was working on them last night. Across the top of the screen, you will see the OG members. These are people that have either made a donation or tipped us or helped us in any way. You've got Tariq, Kishan, Ilyaf, I think, Big Boy, Angela, Web3 Superstar. We do have an OG system in place where we make videos only for you. We make videos about 1,000 sats. We've made a video about liquidity pool strategies. If you'd have listened to the video I made on liquidity pool strategies, which I made about 2 or 3 days ago, and you'd have taken your money out of liquidity pools, you would have saved yourself an absolute fortune, because prices in certain pairs got crushed. So had you listened to me and had you done what I did, was to take all my all of my coins out of liquidity pools, I did that. When did I do that? I did that on Tuesday. So I made the video on Monday. I took out all of my pools on Tuesday, and then we had the flash crash yesterday, which would have really given you a massive impairment loss. So we have an OG section. We make videos just for you guys. Can't tell you more about it because we're on exchanges, but we do make videos for OG members that do help. So let's move on. Oh, I was going to drop a box actually. That is a very good point. I'm glad you liked it, Kishan, and I hope it helps. Liquidity pool farming and concentrated pool farming is great when the prices don't move. That's where you need to be looking. Anyway, let me drop a box. The other thing to mention is I have a problem with my two-factor authentication, and I can't log in on my computer to a certain place. So there is a place I'm streaming today, and I can't see the messages. I apologize for that. Oh, 1 second. Okay. And if you do want to become an OG and help support the channel, my details are underneath the stream. You can send me a message or comment on a post that I've made, and I will reply to you. There we go. So there's a box dropped out. Great. There we go. Okay, now we are going to get on with the rest of the news. So people are bullish on Celestia, even after the 480% rally. The price defied the typical trajectory of airdrop tokens by rallying 480%. Modular blockchain. Celestia has posted amazing growth since its launch only on Halloween. They were airdropped to 580,000 users, and the mainnet went live since launching. It's risen more than 460% from $2.10 to $13. However, as traders' appetite grow, tier price followed, and ultimately on-chain activity grew as well. Mint scan data shows the network has facilitated 6.6 million transactions since its debut. Not too shabby at all. The growth activity grew 85% within a few weeks. Now, there is one thing you need to know about this. This is the key. I'm glad he's put it in the article. In addition, staking tier comes with the hope that projects integrated with Celestia will issue token airdrops, similar to how Solana's GateIO and Marinade DeFi protocols rewarded users with tokens in December. So, a lot of the price action has been because people are buying it to stake it. That's the key. And they're doing that on the proviso that they will be airdropped more tokens that outweigh the cost of buying their Celestia and whatever. Now, that comes with a huge risk, and the huge risk is very simple. If those airdrops don't transpire, or they take too long, or whatever else it might be, the price is going to absolutely crash. Okay, that's something to bear in mind with Celestia. Now, there isn't, as the article said, there is not a lot of information in there on here. Now, what we can see, and I'm not going to do too much TA, is there's potentially hidden bullish divergence on the price. But we are stuck in this range I was telling you about. Now, I traded this range twice, and I stopped because I wasn't really making an awful lot out of it, $20, $30 a time. But what I was doing was I was selling off at $14.50. So, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Okay, so there was 6 trades in there. There was 3 trades in there. I've taken 2 of them and I've stopped. So we're in this nice little range. And if you remember the streams that we've done about Chainlink was in the same thing, and it kind of does this for a while. So hidden bullish divergence, we're at $13.92. We've never been higher than $15, but the fib level here is $14.65. My sell orders were at $14.50. So I've caught almost the top, and I've been buying in at about, is it about $12? Yeah, about $12. So you're making about 15% a trade, just to give you an idea. Now, I'm not saying you should go and do this, because we're in a very, very volatile market. And what could very well happen is the ETF gets delayed, and then it will come down to previous level of support here, or previous level of support here. So it could come down to $10 or $8.40. Or if the airdrop calendar comes out and there's nothing for another, I don't know, 12 months, that could also affect the price. So remember, look at the motivation behind the price of a coin. In this case, people are staking, expecting to see future airdrops. That's what they're doing. So it doesn't mean you can't make money out of it. And if you do want to start buying, you know, if you buy at $14 and the Bitcoin approval goes through and it goes up to $22, another 50% gain, you've made $50. Or if you wait for the price to come down to $12 and you sell it at $14.50, you've made your 15-20% there. So you can play it, but it's in this tight range. And it could be here for a while. Maybe it's one of those coins that just stays here. Chainlink was in that. Let me bring it up just to show you what we're talking about. There we go. Okay. So look at what happened with Chainlink. By the way, again, we don't draw these charts before the show. This has been drawn for a while. As you can see yesterday, guess what? We came down to the bottom of this channel. But what I wanted to show you very quickly was this price action. Let me steal some of Brogan's lines to show you what Chainlink did. So Chainlink did this. For how long? It did this from May 2022 until October 2023. That's almost 18 months. Now, all of that bottom area there was buying opportunities. All of these tops here were selling opportunities. And that range was about 50%. So you could have been making, potentially, because you don't want to catch the exact top and the exact bottom, you could have been making 35-40% a trade on Chainlink. Now, I am not saying that tier is going to replicate that, because the range that it's in is it's not a very long range at the minute. It's only been here for, let's have a think, what's that, 3 weeks. It's been in this range for 3 weeks. So, you know, again, it could do this. Maybe it's testing resistance, and maybe on this instance it's going to break out. Maybe, we don't know. But something to take into account anyway. I traded the first two, gave up on the third one. Something to look at. Celestia, I'm not expecting it to shoot up, but the reason I'm saying I can't say what's going to happen is the second that ETF gets denied or approved, everything's going to go haywire. Everything is going to go haywire. So it's not, we're not in the pits of the bear market where we're going to crab for 3 months or a year. We are at the point now where within the next 6 months we could put in a local top for Bitcoin, and that local top could take out the previous all-time high of 69,000. We could top out at 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, and then have a correction. It's very difficult to predict because nobody has ever seen this before. Look at the gold ETF that was approved. That took 10 years to pump that amount of money into gold. I'm not saying it's going to take 10 years with Bitcoin, but we don't know. It's never happened before. All these people that say this time it's different, this time it has different elements to it. It's still the halving, it's still every 4 years, there's still a supply shock, but it's going to be magnified by the new money that's coming to Bitcoin. It's going to be magnified by the fact that Ethereum is now proof of stake. They are the two major fundamental changes this cycle to last cycle, and they are the two biggest coins. Remember, between them, they are 2/3 of the entire crypto market, and they've both got two fundamental changes to them. So it will be different. I could be completely wrong. We could be at $500,000 Bitcoin in 2 years' time. We could be at 200,000 Bitcoin in 2 years' time. We don't know. We have to wait and see, but we do know there will be volatility along the way. There will be pullbacks. Maybe the inflows into the ETFs aren't what we think at the beginning. Maybe there's going to be a huge sell-off when Bitcoin hits 70,000 that brings us down to 50. All of these things, all of these factors, all we know in the long term is that Bitcoin is going to go up. Now, what do Americans love in crypto? That's the question posed by this report. What do we think? Well, first of all, we know damn well it's going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum, but what I didn't expect to see, of course, was Cardano mentioned. And as you know, the flavour of the month on this channel is Cardano. I'm expecting it to rip up trees in a very environmentally friendly way. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin and Cardano were ranked as part of the most popular digital assets amongst crypto enthusiasts in the US. The expanded list includes Shiba Inu, you are welcome, Ripple, Solana and Tether. Tether isn't really a crypto, it's just a digital dollar. Bitcoin remains the most loved asset. The insights were gathered from a survey of 1,500 Americans. It gauges the sentiment and key factors in cryptocurrency adoption. The number of crypto enthusiasts who confirmed that they have Ethereum in 2022 was 65%. Noteworthy at the time, Bitcoin was at 77%. The adoption rate of Ethereum in 2022 was largely tied to the merge and transition from proof of work to proof of stake. That might be a question later on in the quiz. No hints. Could drivers of Bitcoin Ethereum ownership rates? We know more about this. I mean, you've got certain exchanges that list the major coins. If you come to crypto, what you want to do as an acid test is say to the average person in the street, can you name me 3 cryptocurrencies? The majority are going to say Bitcoin. The majority, probably slightly less, will say Ethereum. Then the acid test is, what is that third currency they are going to say? Is it Doge? Is it Cardano? Or, I think coming up on the outside is going to be Solana. Could Solana be the third favorite cryptocurrency in a year's time in America? More than likely. For Ethereum, customers are expecting another upgrade that will improve the speed. We've covered this before. There is an expectation of a spot Ethereum ETF launch. That's been delayed, or a decision on that has been delayed till April. We're probably going to see that towards the end of the year. So overall, why is this important? Because, as I've mentioned before, it's all well and good you knowing what the best cryptocurrencies are. But it's also vitally important that the people buying, the retail that are buying, it's vitally important that you understand what they know about crypto. And if those 4 coins are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin and Cardano, guess what they're going to buy when they go to their exchange at the end of this year when the prices have already run up? Guess what they're going to be buying? They're going to be buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge and ADA. So it's going to be massively bullish for those 4 coins. Why are people going to buy Dogecoin over Bitcoin and Ethereum? Because the majority of retail don't realize you can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin or a fraction of an Ethereum. But they can look at Dogecoin and say, you know what, I can get 100 Dogecoin for $6. If it goes to $1 a Dogecoin, then I'm going to make myself an awful lot of money. I'm going to make myself hundreds of dollars. The same way that Shiba Inu and other meme coins that are fractions of a cent will always do well is the psychology of the price. It's like going to a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant where there's a steak for $80, you're going to think twice about going there because the steak costs so much. If you've got a takeaway down the road that's doing burgers for $2, you're going to go there all the time because it's cheap. And that's the difference, is people don't look at the market caps. They don't look at these as much as they should. And Dogecoin, oh no, okay, maybe, is that 8 cents? Right, okay, so they buy $8 worth. They buy 100 Doge. That goes to $1. They're going to make $100 out of it, or they're going to make $92 out of it. So that's how they will perceive it. They are going to realize, quite rightly, that buying 1 Bitcoin for $43,000, it's going to have to go to $430,000 for them to get anywhere near the return that they've got on Dogecoin. So don't forget, the psychology is massively important when you're looking at coins. Now, we've run out of time, but I am going to skip the He Who Never Was, and I'm going to move on to, this is an important safety announcement. Remember, the motto of the channel is that we are not here to make you rich. We are here to try and stop you from becoming poor. And we covered a video 2 weeks ago maybe, which was Brad Garlinghouse, or an AI deepfake version of Brad Garlinghouse saying, "Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse. Ripple is going to announce a 100 million XRP airdrop. All you got to do is send us $50 and we'll send you $5,000 back." It's a scam as old as the hills. That's now moved on to be Anatoly. Anatoly is the founder, CEO of Solana. This, which I think it's a screenshot. This is a fake video. It's not him. And as the article says, the deep fakes are getting better. All I'll say to you is, don't believe any advert on any website that is from Vitalik, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Anatoly, anybody. Don't believe anybody. Trust no one, in the words of Scully and Mulder, whatever they were called from the X-Files. Don't believe anybody, because you don't know if they're real or not. The only real way you can find out if these are real or not is to go to the actual websites themselves. Go to the Twitter accounts of Anatoly. Go to the Twitter accounts of Brad Garlinghouse and follow the people directly. There are so many people being scammed by these deepfakes. And in my opinion, certain streaming channels are not doing enough, because you would need to employ one individual to tell you that these are fake. That's the problem. They are fake videos. They are never going to airdrop you anything. Okay? The video is almost convincing. It features Anatoly Yakovenko announcing a historic day for Solana. He thanks the Sol community and offers a giveaway through a QR code on the website. He sounds a little robotic. He does. His voice is monotone, unusual for him, and he hardly makes eye contact with the camera. It's a video, and seeing is believing. There you go. This is a deep fake. It's fake, and it's been on a certain channel for a day. It's not been on there for a day. I've seen it for at least a week. At least one internet user says they saw it as an ad. It's not just it's a fake video. Is appearing in ads on platforms known as Twitter, which Elon Musk would call X. We know that. There's been a substantial increase in deepfakes and other AI-generated content recently. Solana isn't in charge of actually taking down the fakes. That's up to the platforms, and they're pokey about it. Solana reported the video to YouTube last night. Yeah, I saw this on here, and there's really not a lot that we can do about it. All I can do is show you these videos and tell you categorically these are fake. Now, we do offer a free service. If you see something and you don't know if it's real or not, send it to us and we will go and have a look at it for you. And then we'll tell you on the channel if it's real or not. All you need to do is go and look at the official channels. But if you don't want to do that, or you don't know how to do that, send it to us and we will go and check it for you, and we'll come back and we'll tell you if it's real or not. There's a lot of fake airdrop posts on Twitter. You will see, for example, Jupiter did about to do an airdrop, and Jupiter's website is, I don't know, jupe.gg, I think it is. But you will see these adverts that say Jupiter.airdrop, Jupiter.network, Jupiter.xyz, whatever it might be. They're all fake. None of them are real. They're all scams. But you don't know that. As a beginner or as somebody new, you don't know that. So you go and connect your wallet, and guess what? Your funds are stolen. So as I always say on here, if you're watching on an exchange, put two-factor authentication on, put an anti-phishing code on there, put your mobile phone on there, keep your money on that exchange. It's as safe as it's going to be. It's safer than a hot wallet. If you know what you're doing, you're an experienced computer user, go and get yourself a Ledger or a Trezor and move your funds onto them and keep them in cold storage. They're your two options for me. Exchange if you're a beginner, cold storage if you're not. I have funds on Ethereum and on Solana that I keep there, that I make my videos with. I've got some NFTs that I use. That is a fraction of my portfolio. The majority of it I hold on 4 exchanges. I don't hold them on cold storage. I hold them on exchanges. I trust them more than I trust myself. And with hot wallets, one misclick, one confirmation, and that wallet that you have got is empty and it's gone and you can't get it back. And these people will send you to scam websites where you connect your wallet to get your free 100,000 XRP, and you will give them permission to your wallet, and then everything in your wallet is gone, and that's the end of it. It's gone. You're never going to get it back. That's why it's important for beginners to not do the same things that lots of other people have done in their time, connect wallets, been scammed, been damaged by crypto, and are never going to come back. And for me, I know not your keys, not your crypto. I don't care about that. My job's to keep people as safe as possible. And the exchange that you're watching on is as safe as any place for your crypto, because they are experts. They know what they're doing. They keep your funds safe. These exchanges don't get hacked. But if you put your money into a non-custodial wallet and you look after it yourself, it's on you. And if you're not technically competent enough, you're gonna get your money taken off. You're gonna lose it. You're gonna click on the wrong link. However, if you want to take part in airdrops, put a little bit of funds, $20, $30, put that into a wallet and go and claim the airdrops from the official channels. Follow some of our videos, the links in our videos, whatever else it can be. Because then if you do get hacked, you've lost $15 or $10 or $5 or whatever the amount is you can afford. That's the safest way to do it. Now, when you get the airdrop, let's say you get $500 worth of Solana in an airdrop. What I would personally do with that is I would send it straight back to an exchange. And I would do, I wouldn't even do on-chain staking through the wallet. I would send your money to the exchange and I would do on-chain staking through that exchange, because you can do that now with Ethereum, Solana, Cardano. On-chain staking is available through exchanges. That's what I would do. That's as safe as you're going to get. So that's what I'm going to finish on. I'm getting some, I can see Kishan is sending messages, but I can't see them on my phone. Here we go, got them. I want a detail regarding tax in countries. In India, I get 31% of profit in crypto taken. Ouch. 31% profit is rude, yeah. Capital gains tax as well is a lot. It's like 20 or 40% in certain countries. Tax changes a lot. There are websites out there that will tell you what your tax thresholds are. I'll see if I can find one for you. You lost a lot of money, Kishan. That is bad. I mean, I'm not even going to tell people how much I've lost. I've not lost it through being scammed. I've lost it through lots of other things. I was in Luna, for example. When that crashed, I didn't have a lot on Celsius, but I had some on Celsius, about $4,000 or $5,000 on Celsius. I'm going to get some of that back, but that wasn't a nice feeling. So I have been caught out myself. I don't think anybody that's been in crypto for a long time hasn't been caught out. The important thing is to not get caught out too much. That's why I'm saying keep your money on exchanges, keep them safe, keep them on a ledger. And if you do want to play around with meme coins, or you do want to go and try and farm airdrops, put some money in so you can then go and do that yourself. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to get on with the quiz. So if you are watching in a certain location, which shall remain nameless, you will be, I'm going to terminate the stream there. We will be back tomorrow. I don't know what day it is tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Saturday, I'm back in the studio with Brogan, so we'll be on cameras. We're going to try and work out a better way to do these graphics to make them a little bit nicer. We are making a start. We've now got some nicer overlays. We're going to try and work through it over time. So if you're watching and you're not on Exchange, please like and subscribe to the channel and check the links below to the exchanges that we stream on. We drop crypto every day on those streams. So